Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to our channel. My name is Dylan, and it's truly an honor to have you here. So I'd like to propose a question to you. What if everything that you thought about the Twin Flame journey was actually keeping you stuck where you are? I know there was a point in time within my life where I thought that if I found my person, then I would be complete. That part of me was missing, right? That I wasn't fully whole myself. And this led me down a path of not thinking that I was good enough, that I was worthy of receiving my partner. And, many people go down that thought pattern of thinking that, once I have true romance, then my life can begin. Then I'll be happy. But that's not really the case. And that's what causes disruption or separation between you and your twin flame when you put a lot of pressure on them making you feel good. So throughout this video, I want to explain this process. The twin flame journey is an awakening process, and you can take real practical, logical steps and apply them in your life, and this will allow you to feel so much better about where you're at right now, what you have going on, and your connection with the world around you, with what I call God. So by the end of this video, I can guarantee that you'll understand more about why the inner work, the inner healing, is the most powerful path to take towards divine love. That without doing the inner work, it will be much more difficult, and it won't allow you to really bear the fruit of the seeds that you're sowing, right? If you put a lot of effort into claiming this person in your life, then you're going to be presented with doors to move through that the universe opens for you. And if you hesitate to move towards them, it's only going to elongate the process, because you're meant to move through those steps. You're meant to move through those doors that open for you. So one of the most common misunderstandings on this journey is that your twin flame will complete you. They'll come into your life and everything will be perfect. You won't have to do anything but just be and live your life with them, and everything will magically align. But this is very far off from the truth. When you meet your twin flame, it's oftentimes a very energetic experience that causes you to feel these feelings of excitement and joy. And sometimes this is left with not knowing how to ground that energy. So if you don't know how to ground the energy between the connection, then oftentimes it vibrates away from each other. And this is very common, right? I, at one point in my life, thought that, once I had my partner, that would make me finally believe that I was okay, that I was good enough. But this mindset actually leads to more pain, right? If you're thinking that someone else is going to come and save me and make me feel better, then it's just leading you down a path that really creates more pain in your life, because you're constantly needing external validation. So while these things happen between you and your twin flame when you meet, and it's this really intense connection, and then they start triggering you, maybe you expect them to be a certain way and they're not fulfilling those expectations, or vice versa. They want you to be this certain way, but you have resistance towards doing that. And so this is where you start to experience triggers. But in reality, these triggers, they're just reflecting parts of you that you can move through and heal within yourself to allow yourself to grow into a more higher vibrational self, right? It basically helps you to grow into your divine self. So through that reflection that's going on, don't take it personally, right? they just see your full potential. They see all of what you can be, and they're going to help guide you there. As uncomfortable as it might feel, just know that they are your teacher, that they're here to help teach you and guide you just as you are with them into being your divine self, into attracting all of the good things in your life, the job, the family, the house, the security, whatever it is that you feel you've always known that you're worthy of. They're here to help you go into that, right? To come into that peace. And so this doesn't mean that you don't experience frustration and upset. This doesn't mean that you don't have fights or misunderstandings. Because really any fight or any time that you're triggered is just a misunderstanding, right? And so it takes a lot of maturity to be able to maturely communicate with the person without letting your feelings and everything get in the way of what your heart really wants with them, which is to live in harmony with them. And so, yeah, let go of the expectations of how it's supposed to look, and really have humility in knowing that you don't know everything, that they have a piece to share with you too. And since they're your mirror, if you are full of chaos or fear, or you're living a chaotic life, let's say, and you have lots of fear and anxiety, then that's gonna be reflected in your twin flame at that point in time. Vice versa, if you're living in a place of peace and content and happiness for your life and really loving yourself, then you're going to see that reflection in your twin flame. And this is what I experienced, because we had met before, and when we had met originally, we reflected that anxiety, that kind of chaotic lifestyle, ungrounded. I was like a hippie and she was like in a sorority, and so it was just very like ungrounded, right? And then years later, when we reconnected, we were reflecting the growth that we had endured, and we reflected this place of peace and contentment within our lives and what we were achieving within our own lives, which was really like inner peace and learning to love ourselves. And yeah, there were still things that we needed to work on, but we reflected that peace within our lives. And so just be conscious of that wherever you are in your life emotionally, that's going to be reflected in your twin flame. And it's not like you're doing anything wrong. It's just to know that that's a place for growth. If you know that you need to grow in that area, then pursue that growth. So if there's one thing that you need to know about this journey, is that inner healing is what brings your union. So throughout my life, I was an only child, and I was introduced to Reiki, meditation. My dad introduced me to connecting with nature, and this allowed me to build my own relationship with God. And so through that relationship, it guided me through things that allowed me to grow. And so I surrendered to those experiences. And yes, there was times where I was, crying for, an hour or so in the night, or crying about a girl that didn't like me, and, really expressing my emotions. And every single thing that I experienced brought me closer and closer to God. And so this society today, oftentimes it's challenging to maybe learn how to do that, but it's never too late to learn how to connect with your surroundings, to connect with God. And really you connect with God, the universe, through connecting with yourself, connecting with your joy and what you love. Because through that energy, you align with what you love, and then the universe starts to conspire to in a good way, to allow you to experience more of that joy and more of that love. It's like the things that you pay attention to and the things that you enjoy seeing, you'll continuously see more of them because your soul, your spirit is aligned with visually seeing those things in reality. And so, yeah, when you understand that doing the inner work and healing within will allow you to align with your twin flame, because your twin flame is the physical representation of God, of the divine, and they carry that opposite energy, masculine or feminine. And so when I really aligned with my masculine energy and with who I am, and really started to pursue what I loved, then that brought me closer and closer to my twin flame. And yeah, I experienced a false twin relationship. I experienced a karmic connection. I had a girlfriend in high school and a girlfriend in college, and they all taught me valuable lessons, right? Each relationship has taught me valuable lessons that I've carried forth into this relationship to fully heal that that karma. So throughout this, I stopped waiting for someone to come into my life and to complete me, and I started valuing myself and who I was. I took a trip in 2019 that was like a sabbatical for me. It was like brought me into myself, into my divine self, and gave me a taste of what it's like to truly embrace who I am. And then now I've been grounding that energy throughout the past 5 years, and it allows me to speak to you today about this journey. Hannah, when she came into my life, she didn't complete me, because your twin flame is a complement of all that you are. So Hannah doesn't complete me as an individual. She complements who I am, and she's completely whole within herself, right? She was going on this journey too, similar to me, reflecting that inner healing and that growth from within, embracing who she was, following her joy and her bliss, moving out of her parents as I did, really like claiming the life that she wanted. And yeah, and that really shows God that you want this for yourself, because through that experience of being alone and traveling around the country or the world, or just simply like following what is true in your heart, then you align with those doors that open for you to continue down that path and bring you towards your twin flame. Through this inner healing, through this transformative shift of aligning with who you are, you really get to know yourself. And when you get to know yourself, you can more easily recognize who your twin flame is. And even if getting to know yourself leads you to experience a false twin relationship, you just cut off a huge block of energy that needed to be released and shaped into more of who you are. So, basically what I'm saying is, I thought that I desired to be with someone that was similar to who I was at that point in time, but that really wasn't the essence of who I am and who I'm meant to be, because parts of me felt very uncomfortable in that relationship, and I'm sure they felt uncomfortable for my false twin flame as well. And so, but I was attracted to that because that's what I thought I desired, only to recognize that that isn't what I desired. And so don't be afraid to really go all in, test the waters, explore a relationship if it clearly presents itself. And the more you get to know yourself, the more easily you'll be able to recognize whether this person truly aligns with your core values, who you are, right? So I'd like to propose another question for you. If you were someone else, would you fall in love with me? Like, if you were a different person, would you fall in love with who you are? Right? And if the answer is no, then yeah, there's just work to be done, to fully align with who you want to be. And that's what attracts your twin flame. And truly, like, you are worthy in who you are right now. You're worthy of your twin flame. But if there's qualities and aspects of your life that you feel you want to change for the betterment of your life, then change them, right? There's no better time than now. Just do it. So you attract what you are, who you are. Throughout all my life, I attracted who I was, a reflection of where I was at in my life. All my high school friends, most of them, I don't connect with them as easily anymore, as much as I love who they are, because I have aligned with a different vibration, and it's not better or anything than them, but we're just at a different vibration, and so you attract who you are. And true love is a reflection of your own wholeness. If you're seeking for love to validate you, then that love really won't be whole and complete within itself. There'll be holes and gaps because it's not unconditional, right? There is parameters to that love. And when there's parameters to love, then it can't be whole and complete. If you do this, then I can love you, right? But when you unconditionally love yourself, then you attract the person that can unconditionally love you. And you guys, it's not about being perfect. It's just about being who you are and embracing that. It's completely okay to have quirks and, little things that, are different than other people, or, you don't have to be a fashion model. You don't have to be a owner of a business or a multi-million-dollar person or whatever. You just pursue that love within yourself. And lots of us have places within ourselves that just need more attention. So give yourself that attention that you need. Give yourself that love that you need. And remember that your twin flame isn't going to do the work for you. They're not going to come in and, heal all of your wounds, and then you guys will live a happy life, right? It's you do the work for yourself. They do the work for themselves, and you align and complement each other where you're at. So yeah, it's an ascension journey. It's an ascension process that leads you closer to the universe, to God, leads you closer to yourself, the true essence of who you are. So you might experience backlash from people that don't understand what this is, but I've known it to be true within my heart based on the experiences that I've had in my life, and leading me to the point of meeting Hannah. And the few days after that, there's no question in my mind that she is my twin flame, and we've achieved harmonious union together. We live in harmony in our relationship because we know that we can't get anything from each other. That she's not going to save me. She's not going to do the work for me. I love myself each and every day, and I do what I need to do to fill my own cup so that it overflows into her life, and she does the exact same thing. So yeah, they aren't going to complete you. They're going to just reflect where you're at on your journey. And so know that they're your greatest teacher, and they're your best friend before they're your ultimate lover and your best romantic partner. So that might be a lot to unpack, but feel free to watch this video again if you need to, get it a little bit more clearly, right? Just know that you're safe, you're loved, and you're divine. So if you like this video, please subscribe so that you can see more of our content. Give us a like, and feel free to comment if you found that something specific really helped you throughout this experience. And we'll see you next time. make sure you look below. We got some links where you can book a consultation with one of us. We're both certified ascension coaches to help guide you on this journey, and we're very passionate about doing that, and we will see you next time. Much love.